Hello, welcome back to my channel. And this is my very first sit down video, so I really am like, I don't even know what I'm doing. But today we're gonna be doing my first time. I have a little drink here. I'm drinking Tito's vodka with 7-Up Zero, so no sugar, and a little splash of lime. Cheers, y'all. It's about to get a little interesting, I think. I asked you guys to give me some ideas on my first time, things to talk about. So I'm just gonna go through the questions that y'all gave me. Oh, y'all, look how cute this picture is. She cute. Okay, sis, we see you. Y'all, I don't know, this is weird. What do I say? What do I do? We want to focus on me, but do you like the background? All right, my first time rolling a blunt. Okay, so this was in college and I was, I think 19. I don't even smoke blunts anymore, really. Like, I don't roll blunts anymore, I should say. I will smoke a blunt if it's passed to me. I use joints or glass, but when I first started smoking, I was using blunt papers, so like Rellos, right? Ain't that what they call? It's been so long, I don't even know what they call no more. Who am I? I think I was like 20 the first time I rolled. The first time you know what, let's rewind. So the first time I actually smoked, y'all, I was 19 years old, I was in college, and it was the worst experience of my life. Somebody actually asked me that question too. When I tell you guys, okay, so at the time I was in a relationship and me and my boyfriend were arguing. He was the type, like, he didn't drink, he didn't smoke, he was very much so like boring. My first time smoking, I was into it with my boyfriend. Like, we had gotten into an argument like earlier that day. I was with a group of my people, like it was my closest friends in school. So we were all like at my friend's house smoking, and this was my first time smoking. You guys, I started having a whole panic attack. At the time, I didn't know really what panic attacks were. It's my first time smoking, so I'm thinking like somebody drugged me. Like, you guys, I am not making this up. So I hit the blunt a few times and I started feeling weird, and then I went outside and I called my boyfriend, and he was like, are you okay? Like, you sound weird. And I'm like, I don't know, like, I'm just not really feeling that good, and so I'm about to go home. And he's like, okay, well, call me if you need anything. I think the reason I started panicking is because I didn't want my boyfriend to know I was smoking, because again, he didn't smoke, he didn't drink, and I was like the opposite. Like, I drank, obviously I tried smoking, and now I'm still 420 friendly to this day. How many years later? Over 10 years later. And so I think I was paranoid because of that, and I just didn't know like what it felt like to be high, so I was freaking out. I went home. And at the time I was living with two of my best friends, Kristen and Elise. So I was like, I'm not feeling well, so I'm about to go home. Whoever was at home, it was either Kristen or Elise, my other roommate. I walked in the door and she was like, she just looked at me like, you don't look okay. I'm like, I'm not really feeling good, so I'm about to go lay down. Y'all, when I tell you, I tried to go to sleep. I tried to lay down. When I was laying down, it felt like I was falling to my death. That's the only way I know how to describe it. I know that sounds really dramatic, but this is my first time having a real like full-blown panic attack, and my first time being high. I didn't know what was going on. I lay down and all I could feel was like me falling to my death. So I ended up calling my boyfriend back like, I'm not okay, like I feel like I'm dying. And he's freaking out at this point because he's like, what do you mean? Like, what happened? Like, and I'm like, I smoked. And so he like he called my other friend who was there with me. He asked her like, are you feeling okay? She was like, yeah. And he's like, everybody else good? And she's like, yeah. Cause he's thinking like somebody slipped something in the joint or the blunt, and he's just trying to figure out what happened. Long story long, my other roommate ended up coming back home. I'm literally freaking out. My boyfriend comes over. He ended up driving us to he drove us to the hospital. He was driving, my friend was in the front, my friend Elise was in the front, and Kristen was in the back with me, and I was laying on her lap. Like, you guys, I'm telling you, I was having a full-blown panic attack. This is my first time having a panic attack. I've had multiple panic attacks, but this is my first time. It was horrible. So when I got to the hospital, I'm thinking I'm literally dying, and they're like, you're having a panic attack. They gave me a Xanax. They were like, you smoked today? I was like, yeah. Y'all, when I'm telling you, I only hit it like maybe 5 times. It wasn't even like a lot. So they gave me a Xanax and that was fine. It's actually really not funny. I don't know why I'm laughing, because it was a horrible experience and my friends were terrified. My boyfriend was absolutely thinking somebody, like, he was about ready to go fuck some shit up, okay? Shout out to him and my friends for loving me and caring that much about me. But then we all laughed about it after the fact because, bitch, you was just having a panic attack. But don't get me wrong, panic attacks are very real and very scary and not a joke. So I'm not making fun of that. I'm making fun of the fact that I thought that I was dying. And no, I was not. That was my first time smoking. All right, so back to my first time rolling a blunt. So at the time, I had already smoked, but I had never rolled. So me and my friend, I think Amber, we took a couple of the Rellos, and instead of putting actual weed in the joint, we were practicing with the actual tobacco that fills a Rello. And I want to say I was 20 years old, and I actually did really good rolling my blunt for the first time. So yeah, I was 20 and it was in college. My friend is crazy. She said my first time sucking. Who said that I do that? Nah, I don't want to answer that. My mom watches my videos, so we gonna keep it rated R-ish, but not fully, okay? My mama don't need to know all of that. First time breaking a bone. I've never broken anything before. Where's some wood at? My floors are hardwood. First time wearing makeup. No, it's cute. I was in high school, but it really wasn't makeup. It was just like eyeliner and mascara. So I think I was like 14 or 15. First time I ever got in trouble at school. Oh my God. So this is actually a really fucked up story because, like, it's just really fucked up. So basically, there was this white lady. I honestly do not remember her name. I remember what she looked like. If I ever seen her on the street, I would definitely recognize that little butt. She, for whatever reason, could not stand me. And when I tell you guys, I'm telling you, me in school, I was a good girl. All honors classes, top of my class, never like caused any trouble with teachers, never did any of that. Like, I was good. Like, I had no reason to be like that. You know what I'm saying? I was a good girl in high school. And for whatever reason, this one teacher could not stand me. And I don't know why. I still to this day have no idea why she didn't like me. Honestly, thinking back, I think she was a lesbian and she probably had a crush on me. And she probably like, ugh, I can't have a crush on the student, so I'm gonna hate her instead. I honestly have no idea why she would hate me the way that she did, but she hated me. Like, she would always like just have an attitude towards me. So I remember we were in class one day and she was standing up. Oh my God, if any of my friends from high school are watching this video, y'all know this story and y'all know what happened, because we had witnesses and witnesses testified in my favor. But anyway, she was standing, I don't even know how to really describe it for like without visually, like it was, I don't know. Okay, so the desk, you know, you got the desks, they all in a row, right? And then there's the teacher's desk at the front of the classroom. So I was like coming from my desk, she was standing like right in front of the first row of desks, but like it was like a really small space between like the first front row of the desk and like her desk. So like she was standing like right here, right? I was coming from this way and I was like walking past her. You know how you trying to scoot past somebody and you like kind of put your hands up so that they don't back up or like they know that you're behind them? That's literally what I did. I literally put my hands up and was like trying to scoot past her to get past this little narrow space. I said, excuse me, and then I like put my hands up. This bitch turns around and was like, you just pushed me. Y'all, when I tell you, I'm like, what? First of all, I have never been in a fight before. Still to this day, at 32 years old, never been in a fight, never started a fight, nobody's ever tried to fight me. Like, I just have never been in a fight. I don't have a reason to fight. I'm too fucking cute to fight. I don't have enemies like that, and so I ain't never been in a fight. I was 15 years old when this happened. She was like, you just pushed me. I'm like, what are you talking about? I was just trying to get past you. Like, why would I push you? I have no reason to push you. You're tripping. She's like, I'm calling the dean or whatever. And I remember my dean at the time. I cannot remember his name, but I remember what he looks like as well. He was a black guy, bald. And like, we were cool, like, cause I never got in trouble. But he's like, what are you doing in my office? And I'm like, well, apparently this bitch thinks that I pushed her. He's like, that don't even sound like you. I'm like, exactly. Why would I just randomly push her? Why would I push anybody just for no reason? Unless somebody put their hands on me. He was like, you know, it's her word against yours. And I'm like, well, the whole class will testify in my favor and be like, she did not push her. Y'all, when I tell you they interviewed like 15 students in the classroom, everybody said that I did not push this bitch. But for whatever reason, I still ended up getting suspended for 10 days. And you wanna know what's crazy? That was my first and only time ever getting suspended. At the time, I was in all honors and AP classes, like literally top of my class, straight A student. And because of that, I was able to get all of my homework assignments while I was suspended. Because the principal was like, well, I know it's your word against hers. It's like, we can't really prove it. But because you are a stellar student, bitch, I'm a good ass student. I'm a fire ass student. Because of this, we're gonna allow you to get your homework assignments so that you won't fall behind and your grades drop. So long story long, yes, I got suspended for absolutely no reason because this bitch hated me. And then they transferred me out of her class once I got back, which was a smart thing to do because it would have been war at that point if I would have had to stay in that little heifers class. But anyway, yeah, that was my first time getting in trouble at school, even though I didn't do shit. Anyway, first plane ride you've ever went on. Ooh, okay. So I was 6 years old and my mom flew me to, was it Atlanta or Memphis or Nashville? It was either Atlanta, Memphis, or Nashville. And the reason I don't remember which one is because my mom's aunt, Missy Lane, she my auntie, but that's my mama auntie. She lived in all three of those cities at one point when I was younger. She now lives in Nashville. So I want to say it was either Atlanta or Memphis. But regardless, I was basically going out there for the summer. And I was 6 years old and I flew on a plane by myself. Of course, I was escorted by, you know, the flight crew and everything. Ooh, excuse me, but yeah, that was my first plane ride. I was 6 years old. My first boyfriend. Okay, so do we count like before high school? Because if we count before high school, I don't remember. No, I take that back. I remember my first boyfriend was Philip Kane in 6th grade at Prairie Hills. And I remember we kissed on a slide at the park behind the school. That was my first boyfriend, my first kiss. So I was 6th grade. Oh, by the way, I was the youngest in my class. I graduated high school at 16, so I was younger than everybody. So 6th grade, I was like 10, I think. How old are you in 6th grade? I think I was 10. So yeah, that was my first boyfriend. My first car. Okay, so my very first car was my blue Honda Civic 2012. Yeah, that was my first car. I love that car, and then it got totaled in an accident that wasn't my fault. Oh, and it's crazy because, no, I ain't gonna go into that. Maybe that's for another day. My first cell phone. Oh, that's cute. My first cell phone, they actually asked the same question on my work, like our all hands meeting today, because it's like the end of the year. They asked that. That's so random. But my first cell phone was the Nokia. I don't remember the model number, but it was the gray little brick, you know, with the green screen and the snake game. Very first phone, I believe I was 12. My first date. Damn, that's a good question. You interrupted my video. My first date officially, I guess, was in high school with my boyfriend, my ex-boyfriend Stevan, who is still my good friend to this day. I don't remember where we went. It's probably like the movies or something. I'm sure it was with him. My first kiss, I already told y'all, my first kiss was with Philip Kane in 6th grade on the slide at the park behind the school. My first friend in college. Ooh, this is good, okay. My first friend in college, his name is Maurice, and we're actually still friends to this day. I actually talked about him in one of my most recent vlogs. I'll link it here, the vlog where I was at a penthouse party with Leon Bridges. Maurice is a part of Leon Bridges' crew. He's like his DJ. But yeah, he was my very first friend in college. We literally met, I wanna say like maybe the second day I was on campus, and we just got really, really close really quickly. Like it was like an instant like, oh hey. Our dorms were right across the parking lot from each other. You know how they have like freshman orientation week? I was walking out of my dorm and he was walking towards his, and we kind of like met, and he spoke to me. We spoke, and then we both discovered that we're from Chicago, and that was kind of like what sparked the conversation. And then we were literally like this. Like everybody thought we were a couple, but we were legitimately best friends. If you saw him, you saw me. If you saw me, you saw him. Like we did everything together. So he was my very first friend in college. But then I got like my girl circle shortly after that. But yeah, he was my very first friend. My first heartbreak. Oh, my first heartbreak was high school. It's like puppy love. We were babies and we were both innocent virgins, you know what I'm saying? Like we were just like babies. So, but that was my first official heartbreak. My first job. Okay, so my first job was at Subway. I was 15 years old and I worked at the Subway in Matson, Illinois. If you're from Chicago, or if you're from the Chicago suburbs, the South suburbs specifically, you know exactly which Subway I'm talking about. The one by Lincoln Mall, which Lincoln Mall is now closed. It's crazy. I think it's closed. I'm pretty sure it should be. But yeah, so that was my first job. And ironically, my baby sister, her first job was at Subway. Look at that full circle moment. My first pet. My first pet was Princess. She was a Cocker Spaniel and she ran away, unfortunately. And I think I know why, but I don't want to say on camera. But yeah, Princess was my boo. Okay, my first piercing. Ooh, my first piercing, aside from like, you know, my ears when I was a baby, was, what did I get? My belly button. I was thinking my cartilage, but I got my cartilage pierced in college. Yeah, my belly button was my first piercing, and I got that when I was 15. My mom took me to get it. My mom was super cool. She let me do she let me do my thing. That's why I was so good, because it was like, I mean, I was sheltered in a way, but I wasn't like, it wasn't to the point where I felt like I needed to go wild and crazy when I left the house, you know? I never had to like sneak out or anything like that. My mom just trusted me, so yeah, she let me do things. My first tattoo. Okay, my first tattoo was my 18th birthday, and I'll just show y'all, I guess. I actually don't like this tattoo anymore, but oh shit. This is my first tattoo. Can y'all see that? Apparently, hopefully, says beautiful. I got it when I was 18. People would always just call me beautiful, so I got it tatted, okay? My first thought today, ooh, that's good. My first thought today, every single morning when I wake up, I'm out of breath doing all of that. And my first thought every morning is, I'm grateful to be alive and well with all my senses, organs, and body parts functioning properly, period. My first YouTube video. Okay, so technically, I have recorded videos in the past and deleted them or like made them private. I want to say it was like either the year after I graduated, but I basically, at the time, I would wear sew-ins. I got my first sew-in. My girl Mel did it. And I literally went on YouTube and just showed people my hair. And that was like probably 2012. I think 2012 or 2013. On my very first YouTube video. Hey, the first concert I've ever been to. Ooh, I've been to a lot of concerts, and my mom used to work for V103. If you're from Chicago, you already know. View 103. My mom used to do advertising sales for View 103, and then my sister's father is actually a DJ for View 103. My mom used to always get tickets to concerts when I was younger. I want to say my first concert was the Big Jam, but I don't remember like who performed or which one. But the Big Jam was like every year. It was like one of the biggest concerts in Chicago. The first person I talked to today, myself. No, seriously though. Who did I talk to? Let me go through my phone, because I don't think I really talked to anybody today. Yeah, I haven't talked to anybody through text today. Isn't that crazy? Y'all don't love me? No, I'm just kidding. But so let's say the first person I talked to yesterday, my friend LaRoyce. The first person you text when something exciting happens. Usually my mom, or if I'm in a relationship or dating someone, that person. The first thing I do every morning, okay, so literally every single morning, I express my gratitude for being alive. Well, I just said that earlier, like my first thought of the day. The first time I ever got drunk, today. I'm just kidding, y'all. I'm not even drunk. I've barely even drank. First time I got drunk was in college. Y'all, I did not drink anything in high school. I never had a sip of alcohol in high school. I didn't even drink my first semester in college. I was a goody two-shoes back then, y'all, I'm telling you. The first time I got drunk, oh my God. This is how me and my besties in college became best friends. We had all like knew each other, but this was really our first time really hanging out as a group. Tori and I lived in the same dorm, and she was like one of the only other black girls in my dorm, so we naturally clicked. Janelle and I were in the pageant together. Elise and I, we became friends. How did me and Elise become friends? I think we just like saw each other on campus and started talking to each other. Kristen and Tori were best friends, so I got introduced to Kristen through her. Kiana and I can't remember how we met, but we met somehow. We all like decided to hang out one day at, I believe it was Kiana's dorm. So we were drinking in the dorms, and like y'all, we were just doing dumb shit. Like we were literally in the hallways, going up and down the hallways with cartwheels and shit, bumping into people's doors, falling and shit, like just acting a fucking fool. We got a warning, and we decided to ignore that warning. Like the resident, the RA was like, listen, y'all can't be doing this. Like, you're disturbing the peace. And it was during the week, y'all. It was during the week. I wanna say it was probably a Thursday. So we was like, okay, we sorry. But then we were drunk. So we just kept acting a fool. And we ended up getting the campus police called on us. So they showed up to the dorms. Then they knocked on the door, and they were like, I think Kiana went to the door because it was her dorm, and they were like, we got a call saying that you guys are, you know, making a lot of noise, disturbing the peace from being drunk, blah, blah, blah. They were like, can we come in and check the dorm for any alcohol? We were like, no. But they were like, well, we're going to anyway. So they came in, of course they seen the liquor. And we didn't get arrested, y'all. We didn't get arrested, but we basically ended up getting a minor in possession. And I think this is my first time talking about this publicly. My mom didn't know about any of this until after I graduated, by the way. I kept this a secret from my mom. Basically, we got a minor in possession. We had to do a certain amount of like community service hours in order to get it dropped to a littering charge. So this is literally how we all became close, and we all had to meet like the day after to like have our story straight for the court. So yeah, that was my first time getting drunk. I had drank before that, but that was my first time like getting drunk. First time I got in a fight. Told you I ain't never been in a fight, still to this day, period, never will, like unless somebody put their hands on me. And in that case, I'm probably going, okay, let me, the reason why I don't fight is because one, I'm too fucking cute for all of that. I don't want nobody fucking with my face. Two, I really don't have enemies like that. If anything, my enemies consist of men that I've dated. Niggas just be in their feelings, or I don't know. And if it's a bitch that don't like me, I probably don't even know it, and if I do know it, I probably act like I don't. I feel like the reason why I've never been the type to fight is because I don't think that I would fight fair. I think that I would be the type of fighter that would try to kill somebody, and based off of like knowing myself, we've come a long way, okay? I haven't always been this peaceful, but like that's a primary reason why I don't fight, because like I'm not trying to go to jail for killing somebody. So yeah, I've never been in a fight. Knock on wood, it never happened. That was actually really fun. I think I'm gonna do this again, but like, I don't know, a different type of tag. So y'all leave some comments and some ideas down below. I hope this was fun for you to watch. It was fun for me to record. I'm gonna finish this drink and edit. It's only like 6:45, y'all. It's so dark, but I'm sitting here looking at the moon. You see that? And a plane. Y'all know I'm obsessed with airplanes. It's not quite a full moon, but I believe it's gonna be a full moon in Gemini this weekend, I think. But that was fun. I wanna do it again. So give me some ideas. I like this whole sit down thing. It's cute. And I feel like it's gonna be a lot easier to edit, but thank you so much for stopping by, tuning in, joining me on this my first time tag. Definitely want to do more videos like this, so definitely leave comments below. Drop a comment on what you think was like the most interesting my first time. Also drop comment and give me ideas on more videos like this to film. So yeah, I will see you guys in the next video. More than likely it'll be a vlog because that's my thing, but I also do like this, so we gonna explore and experiment with some more sit down videos because this is fun. So anyway, I'm about to edit this video. Yeah.